Hello world, this is the sixth installment of the Python from 0 to 1 series, and today we'll be talking about typecasting. So before we jump right into the typecasting stuff, let's talk about type. So let's say x is equals to 4, y is equals to 3.14, and z is equals to apple. So here, x is an integer, y is a float, and z is a string. We can use type here to check the data types of x, y, and z, or any other variable in Python. So here's how we can do it. So type, open and close bracket, and the thing that we want to check the type of goes in between these two brackets. So type of x, and now let's print. And here, because x is an integer, we will get this. Next, let's do the same for y and z. Type of y, and let's print the type of z. And once again, if we run this, we will get integer, float, and string. Next, let's actually move on to the typecasting. So, typecasting refers to converting one data type to another data type. So here, we have x is equals to a string 4. So if we print x, and if we print the type of x, we will get a string. So here we have simply 4 and a class str, which stands for string. And next, I'm going to convert this into an integer. So here's how we can do it. So x is equals to int, open and close bracket, x. And if I print this, x type of x, I'm now going to get integer. So if I run this, this is what I will get. So notice that in the second line, now we have 4 and class int, which stands for integer. So this action here has actually converted our string x into an integer. However, do note that if we pass in an invalid string, we will simply get an error. So let's say x is equals to 4a, and if we try to convert this into an integer, this will simply give us an error. Similarly, I can choose to convert this into a float instead of an integer, and if I run this, I'm going to get this result. So instead of 4, I'm now going to get 4.0 because I chose to convert it into a float. And on the right side, we get class float. Similarly, let's say I have x equals to 4 and y equals to 5. So here, I'm going to print x plus y. And because they are both integers, they'll simply add up to 9. And if I run this, I'm going to get 9. However, what if I choose to convert both x and y into a string? So let's say x equals to str x. So here I'm converting x into a string, and y is equals to str y. So at this point, x is a string and y is also a string. And if I choose to add them together, instead of 9, I'm going to do string concatenation, which is simply string addition, and I'm going to get 45. As such, knowing the data type that your variable has is extremely important in order to avoid bugs like this. Another important thing to note is that we cannot add a string to a number. So now this works because both x and y are strings. However, let's say I choose only to convert x and I leave y as an integer. So if I run this, I will get an error. And here we have it, we have our error because we just tried to add a string and an integer together. So next, let's explore more about adding different types together. So let's say I have a name is equals to Bob, and I have a age is equals to 30. And next, I wish to create this string. My name is Bob and my age is 30. However, I want my name Bob and the age 30 to be dynamic, which means that if I choose to change the name, this will also reflect in the string that I create. So let's do that. So string is equals to my name is space plus name. So let's stop here first and let's print string. So currently, if I run this, I'm going to get my name is Bob. So notice here that I add a spacing here. So this spacing is necessary as Python will simply do whatever we tell it to do. So we have to tell Python to print every single space that we want in our string. And next, let's try to add the other stuff. and my age is space and plus age. So here, if I run this, I'm going to get an error. And looking at the error, we can guess why. And this is because our age is currently an integer. So to make our code work, we actually need to convert our age into a string, as a string can only be added with another string. So let's use typecasting here. So str, open bracket, and close bracket. And if I run this, I'm going to get the correct output. My name is Bob and my age is 30. So thanks for watching, and hopefully this was clear and easy to understand. See you in the next one.